I had a listing going to contract 4 times before it finally closed. 4. And every time, what kept these sellers moving forward, it wasn't the market, it was having the right person in their corner and advocating for them. During this process, I had something happen that in the 13 years I have been in the business, I have never had happen. And at the end of the day, my clients got a win, and we're gonna dive into why having the right person and the right advisor in your corner is paramount when selling your home. Let's dive in. Now, me personally, I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. And for the last few years, we've gone down to Disney World every year. And the truth is, my wife is obsessed with Disney. Now, I promise there's a reason why I'm going to this Disney side, so stick with me here. The truth is, my wife is obsessed with Disney. I have grown to love it myself. We could plan our own vacation. We know how to book hotels, we know what to do, we know where we want to stay and everything else. But the truth is, life gets in the way. Having our family, working our jobs, things like that, makes us busy. We don't have time to track when tickets go on sale for certain events that we want and things like that. So how do we overcome that? Well, we hire a Disney planner, somebody whose job it is to figure all of that stuff out, watch the quote Disney markets, and make sure that we are getting the best possible rate for our room, best possible rate on tickets, and that we're getting to do everything that we want to do while we're down there, that we are creating the best experience for our kids while we are there. Now, real estate is kind of the same thing. The truth is, you could sell your own home. You could represent yourself buying your own home. But that's not always the best idea, because do you have time to watch the markets, to educate yourself on the market while working a full-time job, while having an outside life and everything else? So let's dive into a little bit about, let me show you why figuring it out isn't necessarily your best option and what figuring it out on your own could actually cost you. So these particular sellers, these are people that I have known for a long time. I sold them this house a few years ago. Since buying that home, they've now started a family. They've got a daughter of their own, and they decided that it was time to get back up north where they were closer to family, their commute was shorter and everything else. They have very busy lives. One of them works in New York City. The other one is a project manager for a construction company. So depending on what job site he's on, he's all over the state. So they had to, no choice, they had to sell this home to buy. So we were managing a transaction that was selling their home while simultaneously buying their new, forever home. There is a lot at stake. There was a lot on the line, emotions and, just busy lives and busy schedules. A lot of things to, kind of schedule around and make sure that everybody was in the best position to get a win. So every time a contract fell through on the sale of their home, it meant prolonging their search. Now, we had found properties that they liked. They were still shopping for properties. We were putting bids on properties. Unfortunately, a lot of sellers out there are not taking sale contingencies in this market. And frankly, this backstory is exactly what sellers are afraid of when taking a sale contingency. So every time a deal fell through, it meant more lost bids for them, more time being spent trying to find a home, more emotions, more stress, more uprooting their daughter's life to make sure that they were trying to find their next home. So there was a ton on the line with this place. So every failed deal felt like it was the end of the world. And the truth is, my main job through a lot of this was obviously managing the transaction, managing negotiations, managing home inspections, things like that. But the biggest thing that I could do was to manage their emotional state throughout the entire process. And the truth is, that's what kept them moving forward, was my ability to manage that part of the transaction that a lot of people, frankly, don't understand is part of the buying or selling process until they are in the middle of it. So let's get into contract number 1, again, of 4 that it took to close this deal. We were on the market for, I don't know, a little bit more than a week and a half, maybe closing in on 2 weeks, and we got our first offer. It was a great offer at asking price, no sale contingency. The rub, it was a VA buyer, which is a veteran buyer. So with VA loans, they don't have to put any money down. Now, we had no other offers coming into the offer pool, and these people were motivated to sell, and they loved the fact that they were getting to help a veteran along the way. So we got all the way through the buyer process, we got through the attorney review process, no money down for this VA buyer. We got through the home inspection. The buyer asked for no credits on the home inspection. Great. They were even going to keep some furniture. And as we moved forward through the deal, things started to get a little weird and kind of raised some red flags on, oh, he wants the furniture, then all of a sudden he didn't want the furniture, so we had to last minute move a bunch of things out that they had to put into storage and send off. They subsequently moved out of the home and moved in with their mother to a small one-bedroom apartment that her mother has up here in Jersey City. They were able to move into there. Luckily, they had a place to go. So we move everything out of the home. We get to the closing table, and we've done everything that they've asked. We've hit every point. We've managed the deal as much as we possibly could. This particular buyer sees the money on the escrow, and now in New Jersey, fully disabled, 100% disabled veterans don't pay property taxes. What his team, his agent, and his lender failed to inform him about is, while you don't pay property taxes, you still have to escrow that money until the official paperwork gets filed with the city in which you're buying, and then they approve it. Now, that's just a formality, but it takes time. There needs to be money put into escrow for those property taxes. So he got to the closing table, went, why is this money here? And lost his mind. Got up and walked away from the closing table. Again, this I've never seen. And talking to other agents, it is so rare that somebody has gotten up and walked away from the closing table at this point. Now, the reality is he had no skin in the game. He didn't put any money down. So, lesson learned. Moving forward with veterans, make sure that there is some type of skin in the game, whether that's put down as a credit, whatever it may be. There needs to be something to have that buyer have skin in the game so they can't just walk away scot-free. Now, there are actions that they can take post-closing and things like that, but nobody wants to go through that headache. So this buyer walked away. And the lesson to be learned here is, while your advisor can control a whole lot of things on your end, we can control the negotiations, the home inspection credits, we can prep for what may come up on the home inspection. Who's working on the other side of that table matters. And in situations like this, that reared its ugly head. His team's failure to communicate the actual process and educate him on everything that goes along with buying a VA home in the state of New Jersey cost my sellers their dream buyer. And then subsequently snowballed into the next 3 contracts it took. So lesson learned, right, is who's on the other side of the table matters, and that open-minded communication is of utmost importance. Now, looking back on it, I like to look at things and say, where could I have gotten better? Where did I leave things on the table? I'm a big look in the mirror guy, ownership type of guy. And looking back on it, I think part of the other problem is this was a team leader, a real estate team leader, who sent one of her underlings to manage this transaction. So right there were some red flags in terms of like who was communicating with who and things like that. So there was a few red flags there. The other side of it is, moving forward, what I now know is I will push to at least have some type of skin in the game for the VA buyers. And I love VA buyers. I've sold homes to veterans who put no money down, who are 100% disabled, the whole 9 yards. The difference was, because I understood that process, I was able to actually educate my client and make sure that they knew every step of the way, and there were no surprises when we got to the closing table. They knew exactly what to expect. So who you work with matters, and the lesson here is, could not be more glaring as to who you work with matters. And by the way, guys, if we haven't met yet, my name's Tom Worley. I've been helping buyers and sellers navigate the New Jersey market for well over a decade. And something I take very seriously is that education process in the buying or selling process. So if that is something that you also value and you're thinking about getting into the market, you could click the links in this description and download my free buyer guide, my free seller guide. Or if you want to schedule a strategy session with me, you can text the number on the screen or click the calendar link in the description below to schedule that consultation and start the conversation about what navigating this market actually looks like. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more education like this, as well as property tours around the area where I walk you through as though you are the buyer and you get to visually see properties that are currently on the market. So let's talk sale contracts number 2 and number 3. These are two different problems, but we can kind of jump through them quickly. Contract number 2, we dealt with first-time buyer problems, and first-time buyers can be finicky. And this guy was exactly that. He went through the home inspection, saw some problems that realistically, if the agent on the other side was managing expectations and truly managing the deal, these are things that are easily overcome with realistic conversations with the other side. So turns out the place needed some work on the roof. No problem. My sellers were more than willing to credit the roof. We had contractors in there to give quotes. We were more than willing to credit that roof and credit any work that he needed. First-time buyer got cold feet, and instead of navigating that inspection contingency with realistic expectations, he went, I want $100,000 off the property. Not realistic, unrealistic for the buyer's agent to even think that they're going to get that, unrealistic for the buyer to get it. My job, again, back to managing the emotions. This had to stay about the business. No problem, we move on. I reset my client's expectations. We go back on the market. We're on the market again for another week. We find another buyer. Now this one has a sale contingency. And the risks that come with a sale contingency and accepting that sale contingency is we don't get to control the price of their home or that seller's, who is our buyer's, expectations. And I was able to have a lot of good conversations with that agent on the other side. This family loved the place, they needed the place, they had family in the area. We had all of the makings of a perfect deal. They priced the home. I was able to watch the home on the market and then subsequently have conversations with that other agent, to which she was open to having conversations about what price reductions would look like at that home. They reduced the price, they accepted an offer, they got through all of their contingencies until their home inspection. Their home inspection was similar to contract number 2 for us. First-time buyer, got cold feet, unrealistic expectations. Their sale fell through, subsequently killing their purchase on our home. Now, again, this entire time, my poor clients are living in a 1-bedroom up in Jersey City in mom's basement and still trying to shop for their homes. Every contract that falls through are lost bids for their new home that they're looking to buy. So the lesson here is when your sale and your purchase are connected the way that this particular transaction was, your strategy affects the other side's strategy. And subsequently, that's a domino effect and things are going to fall in place as they need to. So making sure that you have a plan from the first time that you sit down at the table, and the truth is you need a plan A, B, C, D, and E, because as we've seen here, not everything works out with plan A, plan B, plan C. You may need to go to plan D, and that's what we got to. We ended up getting all the way down the road to plan D. Our 4th buyer was the magic buyer. This was somebody that didn't have a sale contingency. They have a history of being contractors and contractors in their family. So the home inspection stuff didn't scare them. The home inspection stuff that came up, they were realistic about expectations. We were able to work our way through that. They were ecstatic to close the place. And while all of that was going on, once we felt confident that we were through the home inspection contingency and I was able to keep in touch, these agents on the other side were in constant communication with me. That right there is, as my seller's representation, that right there gives me peace of mind. They've got skin in the game. They're working towards a deal. I knew their lender, so I knew the lender was going to get it across the closing table. All of the things lined up on that 4th buyer, and then subsequently lined up on their purchase because we found the home for them. And oddly enough, the home that they are now about to close on this week as I record this video, that one came back on the market because that seller had a sale contingency for the buyer that they initially had. And that deal fell through because of that seller's home inspection. So we're seeing a lot of deals fall through with the contingencies. And that's why, as a seller, taking that contingency is risky. But if you're planned accordingly and there are no, things that you're not up against timelines and things like that, and it's why conversations built around what works for you as the seller are so important early on, then you can manage all of that stuff. So buyer number 4 finally got to the closing table, and there we were under contract on their new home. We got through our sale contingency, we got through our home inspection contingency on the home that they're purchasing, and now we are set to close this week. So at the end of the day, we have a happily ever after story, but not without some turbulence throughout the entire process. So back to the original question, why hire a professional real estate advisor to sell your property? The reality is it's because you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes, frankly, neither does the other agent on the other side. And real estate is inherently emotional. So you need somebody on your side to be steady when you may not necessarily be able to be steady yourself. And if you're doing it yourself and you've got your emotions mixed into it, you are primed to make poor decisions, emotional decisions. Now, when I was younger, my father always taught me, emotion has no place in business. So as those emotions kick up, you may make decisions on your biggest financial asset that don't necessarily align with your actual goals. The process has a lot of moving parts, and frankly, most of them are pieces that that you as an inexperienced person has never seen. Experience and hiring that experience is the protection for you as the home seller to make sure that you are getting and achieving your real estate goals. The truth is, a great agent doesn't just manage the transaction, they manage the people in the transaction. They manage the timelines, they manage the outcomes, and most importantly, they manage the emotions involved in the transaction. So, could I have planned my own Disney vacation? Absolutely, there's no question. I know how to use all the apps, I know how to use booking sites online, but I would leave money on the table. I would leave experiences on the table. That's the same as real estate. This family will eventually this week get to the closing table. They will get their new home. They were able to sell their home. But that wasn't because the market was easy. It's because they didn't try to navigate this difficult market and pieces of a transaction that, again, I haven't seen and a lot of people haven't seen by themselves. They leaned on my experience, they leaned on my ability to manage things, and they trusted the overall process. So if you're thinking about making a move in Hudson County, Bergen County, Essex County, Hoboken, Jersey City, someplace up in northern New Jersey, let's talk before you make any moves. Click those links in the description, download my free buyer's guide, my free seller's guide, and let's schedule that strategy session. Follow along for more educational pieces like this and home tours around northern New Jersey to get the true insight to what the real estate market has to offer.